It's May 10, the day dedicated to increasing awareness on lupus. Many of you may already know that lupus is an autoimmune disease that occurs when the body attacks its own tissues and organs. Over 6,000 Jamaicans are suffering from lupus, and in today's program, we speak to one of them. And later, we have never-before scenes from this year's staging of Old Storytime at the National Museum, Jamaica. So stay right there.
So here are the facts.
7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a non-communicable disease.
Because we love our people and we want them to live better quality lives,
we, the Ministry of Health and our partners, are launching Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica Moves is a call to action to prevent non-communicable diseases.
By educating and encouraging Jamaicans to be active.
Eat healthy.
and start living 30 minutes at a time.
Because 30 minutes of physical activity each day,
along with proper nutrition, can go a long way.
To prevent your risk from developing certain NCDs such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and certain cancers.
And remember, it's life we're promoting. That's why you see me going hard right now.
I'm all about living.
So help us take this first step towards a healthier Jamaica so you can enjoy more moments, more memories, more life.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, May 10. Patients and staff at the Maypen Hospital in Clarendon are now benefiting from an improved air-conditioned atmosphere after a $73 million energy-efficient cooling system was installed. The state-of-the-art central air conditioning system was handed over yesterday by Ministers Fable Williams and Dr. Christopher Tufton.
This is join-up government at work. One that we're very proud about, one that we're very happy for. Recovery and cure is not just about what the doctor prescribes. It's also about the therapeutic value of an environment that is conducive to the very practice of the clinicians and those who support the clinicians.
The project was financed by the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica through the Energy Efficiency Conservation Program. Energy-saving inverter split units were also installed at the A&D department, operating theater rooms and administration building. The project was completed 3 months ahead of time and forms part of government's efforts to reduce public funding on energy at state-owned agencies. Other projects that have been completed under the Energy Efficiency Conservation Program include the National Public Health Lab, the National Blood Bank, and the Kingston Public Hospital. Still on health, the wellness component under the renamed ministry will focus on 6 programs to address the holistic well-being of Jamaicans. During his sectoral presentation on Tuesday, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton announced that the wellness agenda would be pursued in collaboration with a number of partners. The 6 components include the Wellness at Work program, which will focus on healthy eating, physical activity, and periodic health checks. The National School Nutrition Policy will guide school meal preparation for children as part of the Wellness at School agenda. The market pop-ups and a Better For You menu option will involve a collaboration with restaurants, while the hosting of outdoor activities such as hikes, walks, and runs across town centers will fall under the promotion of wellness events. The 6th program, A Home-Based Wellness Garden, is to encourage householder engagement and consumption of fresh, healthy food options at home.
Myself and the minister are putting together 40 million Jamaican dollars to develop 10,000 wellness home garden kits, which RADA and the 4-H movement will distribute in critical communities across Jamaica.
In other news, former Prime Minister Edward Seaga is said to be receiving excellent medical care in the United States of America. Mr. Seaga, who has been ill, was admitted at a hospital in the state of Florida. In a statement issued last night through the office of the Prime Minister, his wife, Carla Seaga, said he was taken there to receive further treatment. His condition at that time was said to be stable. She stressed that Mr. Seaga continues to be sustained by the love of his family and friends and has thanked well-wishers for their love, prayers, and support for the former Prime Minister. Senator Robert Morgan made his first appearance today in the Upper House after being sworn in yesterday. The ceremony took place at King's House, where he also took the oath to serve as Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Morgan, by accepting the Prime Minister's invitation to serve as a senator, you have indicated your willingness to commit yourself to serve Jamaica and the bicameral legislative process. Your contribution as Parliamentary Secretary will assist the Prime Minister in the realization of the policy programs and objectives of the government.
The former Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister replaces Ruel Reid following his resignation.
The Senate is not a simple appointment. It's a very significant thing for someone to have confidence that you can sit in the upper house and contribute to the legislative development of the country. I take this very seriously. I commit to functioning with integrity.
Jamaica is now the first Caribbean country to host the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, IACHR, period of sessions. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck welcomes the IACHR's partnership with Jamaica and says petitions will not be heard against Jamaica as host country.
For all of us, we know that over the years, Jamaica has promoted and upheld human rights and freedoms of all our citizens, and we believe that these rights should be fully protected. So serious is our commitment that Jamaica is a state party to 7 of the 9 core international human rights treaties.
Minister Chuck was speaking at the official opening ceremony for the IACHR 172nd period of sessions on Monday. The minister says the partnership shows Jamaica's commitment to advancing the human rights agenda in the Caribbean and Latin America. The IACHR is a main structure of the Organization of American States, OAS, and was established to promote and protect human rights in the American Hemisphere. And finally, the country's creative entrepreneurs will get an opportunity to improve on their craft at the upcoming Jamaica Business Development Corporation JBDC Expo. The JBDC's 2019 annual Small Business Expo and Conference will be held under the theme Monetizing the Orange Economy, the Future is Creative. It will be held next week Wednesday at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Creative entrepreneurs will benefit from presentations on topics such as animation, artificial intelligence, art, popular music, dance, and publishing, among other creative disciplines. In addition, the expo will feature presentations in the areas of innovation, intellectual property management, marketing, social entrepreneurship, and financing. In addition to the presentations, the expo will feature approximately 58 exhibitors. Interested entrepreneurs can still register for the expo by contacting the JBDC at 876-926-5161-5. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
It's time for the feature you've been waiting for. Here's the story of Dr. Jacqueline Goulburn, a personal and professional development officer who was diagnosed with lupus in 2008.
I was diagnosed with lupus in 2008, but from my own knowledge of what is happening, I must have had lupus all my life, as it were, because I've always been having symptoms. But the challenge that I had was that I was always misdiagnosed. And so that is the focus of my, the challenges in terms of, the doctors would think that I have something else and not lupus, but you'd have different symptoms. But I have systemic lupus, and lupus is not only systemic, but some persons just have what we call discord lupus or other little types, joint pains, and so on. But I have the full works. Well, I was extremely disappointed because I felt, oh my God, I have lived a good life. I have always been careful about what I eat. I've always been sure to exercise. I've used to be nice and slim and beautiful. And to hear that now I have this condition, I did not want to believe. And then it got worse after the diagnosis. You know, I had periods where I couldn't work at all. There was a 4-year period in my life that I never worked. I just couldn't work. I was just always sick. I was always in hospital. Sometimes I'm in intensive care, sometimes I am unconscious, sometimes I'm all kinds of things. So it has not been a very wonderful ride. In 2014, I became, my kidneys stopped working. So I was now in renal failure. And it means that I now have to go to dialysis. So there were days when I would just be so weak. My blood count, that's HB, would fall to a very low level. I had to get blood. I had to look at what I eat. I had to look at how much I do. I had no energy most times. I couldn't do anything. I just had to lie down in my bed. So just different things. You couldn't walk sometimes. Sometimes I can't talk clearly. Sometimes I can't see. Sometimes my hands are so sore and I can't use them. Sometimes just different things. My lungs would fail. Different things would happen. So I've been through the ropes. Mentally, it was devastating because I feel that and that's not supposed to happen to me. So I went through that period. I actually went through a period of severe depression. I was just so depressed. I could not help myself. There were days I just cry and cry and cry. And part of that too is the medication that I take. Some of the steroids make you depressed. And then you look into the mirror and you look at yourself and say, who is this? I don't know you. Can I tell you, I have learned to love life and to live. And that is what is important to me. Each day counts. And I believe that I should live each day to the fullest. With lupus, there is this uncertainty. I don't know when I will be unconscious again. I don't know when I will die. But I am going to maintain the quality of life, and I'm going to have a good life, and I'm going to live. I have good family support. My husband is extremely supportive, my son. So I have them. And I have good friends. Good friends, the saying goes, good friends are better than pocket money. Then there's also the Lupus Foundation, which is important. There is a support group there. There are excellent rheumatologists there who will provide advice and help and care and just information. There's a whole host of books and tapes and all kinds of things that you can get information from. There is also the website that you can look at and get information as well. I've actually gone for job interviews and I know I don't get a job not because I'm not qualified, but because I have lupus. So employers need to understand that people living with lupus can actually contribute and, make adjustments. There are days, for example, after dialysis that I will come to work a little bit late, but I will work later to make sure that the time is there. I have learned that it has no boundaries, it has no behavior, it has no conscience, it has no purpose, it has no time. It does what it chooses to do whenever. And therefore you need to be aware of yourself and what are some of the things that are your triggers, and therefore try to manage and monitor those. You must also be mindful of the medication that you have to take and take them carefully and take them well. You should also be mindful of your appointments with your doctors and make sure that you keep those appointments. I would say to you, help is available. Find some help, find some support. Talking about it helps. Don't feel that it is because you're special or you're being punished why you have lupus, but recognize that this is just another thing that could happen to anybody, color, class, or creed, rich or poor, man or woman. There are more women with lupus than men, but men have lupus as well. And so be aware of the symptoms, get help, get treatment. Don't hide away. Don't think that people obey you, because Jamaica is famous for that. But know that this is a condition that can be controlled. It cannot be cured. It can be controlled, and you can maintain a healthy life. Seek to work, seek to be involved, do what you're doing, treat whatever is happening. If it's depression, get it treated, get treatment, get help. Help is available.
To learn more about lupus, contact the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica via their website lupusfoundationjamaica.org or 754-8458. You may also visit them at 7 Barbados Avenue, Kingston 5.
Did you know that May 9 is celebrated worldwide as Europe Day? On this day, persons are reminded of how member states of the European Union have come together to work for the peace and prosperity of each other. Though the day has passed, it's never too late to recognize the outstanding work of the EU right here in Jamaica.
Hi, Mas Errol. How you do?
Not too bad.
This was so interesting in the paper today, Mas Errol.
Enough things. Did you know that the EU has been doing a lot of work in Jamaica?
Who is the EU again, Mas Errol?
The European Union. A group of European nations that come together to promote social and economic progress and peace across the world.
For true? Newspaper is all well and good, but I bet I can find more information from the internet. I know just the person to call. Hi, Minister.
Minister.
Hi, Jody. Hi, Errol.
What can you tell us about how the European Union has been helping Jamaica?
Over the past 43 years, we have received approximately 1.2 billion euros, and this has run the gamut of a number of developmental programs. A particular area of support has been in the area of agriculture. The EU has provided grant funding and support funding for sugar-dependent areas.
Between 2006 and 2017, the EU provided some 23 billion Jamaican dollars to help people living in areas that are dependent on sugar. Under the AMS, 397 houses have been built for residents. This replaces the old barracks-type housing in which they used to live.
The condition of the barracks were completely rough.
No light, no water.
We never have any transport. The bathroom is outside and the toilet was a pit toilet.
We never have no tank, we have a tank. The lights are here, the bathroom inside, the kitchen inside.
Thank God for the benefit we have right now.
Nearly 200 miles of roads have been built or reconstructed in the parishes of St. Catherine, St. Thomas, Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland and Clarendon.
Based on the roads that we did, it has created some form of ease for the truckers. Citizens of the area, they also benefit from the road.
More than 2,000 SDA residents have received vocational training.
The center would have been equipped to the tune of over 7 million Jamaican dollars to purchase various forms of training supplies and equipment across 3 skill areas: apiculture, bartending, and cosmetology.
I have been receiving training in various areas such as facial, massage, nail.
They have helped me to be certified and I can now earn an honest living from this.
The EU provided over 100 million Jamaican dollars in new business grants to residents in sugar-dependent areas.
Thanks to the EU for giving me this injection of 1,000 chickens, the feed and medication.
I received $1 million and it makes me into a woman that I am today.
The EU's AMS program has also funded extensive improvement to health facilities.
We expand the waiting area, operational space for our doctors and nurses.
The staff morale, it has improved because you're better able to work with more privacy.
With the funding, we're able to open this section we call the male ward. It is marked improvement over what it was.
You feel comfortable, feel like at home.
Enhancement of educational facilities.
I have assisted us in erecting an auditorium. We have a fully refurbished computer lab, and we have a library with over 300 books. We got $11 million to build the facility, and it was a wonderful restroom for the school, and we appreciate it.
Upgrade of childcare facilities.
The funds were used to retile the bathrooms. We improved the plumbing area on the dorms, extended the kitchen and the dining room.
Conservation of the environment.
We embarked on a project here in Salt River, the Portland Biodiscovery Center. Funding has gone towards the erection of the building as well as the construction of the boardwalk.
Increased access to sporting facilities and the preservation of Jamaica's historical architecture.
We were fortunate to get funding for the rehabilitation of the building with computers and computer workstations.
The EU-Jamaica relationship has strengthened considerably in recent years.
Our contribution focused on building resilience, improving quality of life of people in the communities, and providing alternatives. I am absolutely confident that the strong and very constructive relationship that we have today, based on trust, based on partnership, will continue.
You see how the European Union partner with us?
You're right, Mas Errol. Life's sweet of it true with the EU.
Hey guys, have you seen the Child Month calendar? Look, they have so much in store for us. By the way, this year's Child Month theme is Encourage, Enable, Include Me. That means May is celebrating all of us. But you know, special emphasis is being placed on children with disabilities.
And I heard that Jamaica Magazine will be bringing us the voices and the stories of disabled children.
Wow. We learn about how the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, as we all know it to be JBDC, is including children with special needs in their programs.
Plus stories and encouragement from adults who have been disabled from childhood.
They're also taking a closer look at deaf etiquette, the causes of various disabilities, how to treat them, and how to prevent them.
As well as where children with disability can receive rehabilitation and assistive aid and become outstanding performers and sports stars. So, wherever you are, make sure you're locked into Jamaica Magazine each day, same time,
same station,
to catch all these features and more. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Today I am a Nancy, but today I'm not here as a trickster or anybody to harass anybody. Today I'm here to tell stories.
The National Museum Jamaica recently hosted its annual Old Story Time at its 10 to 16 East Street office in Kingston. And boy, there were so many stories to tell.
Old Story Time is geared towards the promotion of our cultural heritage, in particular where it regards to folklore. So we'll be featuring Amina Blackwood Meeks, we'll be having various stories pertaining to our legends and Jamaican folklore characters such as Anansi, River Muma, that type of thing. Also, there are various ways in which we tell stories. We tell stories through movement, through songs, through poetry, and that is what Old Story Time will focus on.
So Anansi was new to town. And in this town, there was a nice little special spell. Nobody was allowed to say the number 5. Never. Never ever. But when Anansi found out about this, Anansi make a nice little plot. So how him going to make sure same teeth everybody little stall food? So he goes up to the stall and he says, "Oh, Brother Bear, I see you have some nice coconut here. I just want you to count out some for me. I just want you to help me to count." So him take out 1, him take out 2, 3, 4, and then him go so, So Anansi said, "No, I don't know what that means. What you just say?" Him say him go again, him say 1, 2, 3, 4, So him say, no, Brother Bear, you have to count it up because I don't know how much you give him. He say, Brother Bear, get vexed. And him say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, poof. Brother Bear disappear. And so Nancy take up all of the coconut the man carry go home. When you tell these stories, it gives the children a sense of what separates them from the rest of the world, what makes Jamaica, Jamaica. So of course, it's always good for them to know about the rest of the world, but it's always good to know where home is, what home is about, so that when they go around the world, they can tell people, yes, this is my culture, this is who I am as a person. And you see, Nancy is a trickster. I have enough story, you know, but I'll tell you a little more. You have a whole museum to see. You can see the whole past, and I'll be right here when you come back. When you're ready to see the museum, learn about the Tainos, the Ubuntu. You know who's the Ubuntu? No? Come, we're going to go learn. That way.
Our ancestors are from where? Where in Africa our ancestors are from? Ashanti, yes, we have the Ashanti tribe, but we are mostly from West Africa. Where we're from? Nice. Now, we're looking at the mass, right? Can anyone tell me an activity or a festival that we do in Jamaica that we wear masks? Go ahead. John, do the perfect. Give him a clap.
What I liked is that the children pointed to the things. So it actually confirmed in their minds that these things are not only in our textbooks, it's not only what teacher is saying, but that they are real.
After learning about our African heritage, it was time for the grand concert. First on the program was master storyteller Amina Blackwood Meeks.
So one day when the snake gone, man, and Nancy pick up him, and Nancy pick up him, and him dig a hole, him dig a hole, him dig a hole and put the devil. One more time. He dig a hole, he dig a hole, he dig a hole, and him get a big can of coconut oil, and him grease up the hole. Then him cover the hole with some dry trash, because Nancy noticed that the snake always come home at night. So Nancy say, when brother snake come home, him not going to see the dry trash, him going to try to walk over it, and him going to drop down in the hole.
The children were just awesome. That's another thing which storytelling does for us. It encourages us to listen. So we're building language skills. You have to listen. You have to understand, you have to be able to remember, and you have to be able to retell. And prediction skills as well, because in their Nancy stories, they were able to tell me what was going to happen next. So besides being entertained, being engaged in such a very important part of our history, we're also being educated and learning these very important language development skills.
The students were also treated to drumming, live performances, and poetry from renowned dub poets.
I saw a lot of children around and they were so excited learning about the Tainos and their African culture, the mask. Just seeing their faces show that it means a lot to them. The children will benefit greatly because they have a more sense of identity, you know, and they become more proud of their culture and know who they are.
This is where we close the pages of the magazine today. Thanks for browsing with us. To watch today's program again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for more information on government programs and initiatives. I'm Sandria, reminding you that each new day is a blank page in the diary of your life. The secret of success is in turning that diary into the best story you possibly can.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.